Hey, it's Becca. When it comes to cannabis, one very challenging issue in particular is for folks who partake of marijuana and who have kids. A while back, I did a 3-part series on moms and mothers-to-be partaking of marijuana because of health issues and how they risk having their kids taken away from them. Check out those on our YouTube channel. Regardless of whether you're in what I call a have state where cannabis is legalized, like Denver, where I live now, or in one of the have-not states where it's still very illegal, like Florida, where I moved from, the issue around parenting and cannabis is a whole can of worms. But today, I want to talk to you about, let's call it the fun part, of being able to sit down and talk to your children about cannabis. There are at least a couple of parenting websites that offer advice to parents who partake of marijuana. For one, Parents for Pot is focused on how to upend the social stigma surrounding adults who, as they say, use cannabis responsibly. And another website is called Psychedelic Parenting, which is dedicated to, as they say, passing on the values of plant medicine to our children. And as we are seeing and know from ancient cultures, cannabis is a very remarkable plant medicine. Both of these sites can be helpful in offering you direction as a parent. What I also want to share with you, though, is a book for children that is ideally suited for you as a parent to sit and read with your kids. It's called It's Just a Plant, a children's story about marijuana. The story and the illustrations are by Ricardo Cortés and about a little girl, Jackie, whose parents, you know where this is going, partake of marijuana. Now, I don't have kids, so I've never had little kids, but I read the book and I found it very instructive, colorful, and fun. I really like Ricardo's illustrations. It starts out with a simple premise. Jackie's been tucked into bed, and then a little later, she gets up. Let me read a couple lines. She smelled something funny in the air, so she walked down the hall to her parents' bedroom. "What's that, Mommy?" she asks. "Are you and Daddy smoking a cigarette?" And it takes off from there with a sensitive discussion and a tour that includes meeting a farmer who grows marijuana, a doctor who recommends it to her patients. The author tackles street use and even has the little girl talking to a police officer about cannabis. The story goes on and gives background around the plant's historical use and even gets in a pitch about how important activism is to change laws around the plant. It's all about education, isn't it? In this instance, age-appropriate education. As you know, we're bucking nearly 80 years of villainizing this plant, and we have a remarkable opportunity with our younger generation to set the record straight, to help them understand what cannabis is and that it's a traditional plant medicine that's been used safely for thousands of years, and that in the United States, right here, right now, we are reclaiming its usefulness to our health and well-being. I'm Becca Williams. If you like what we're talking about here, I invite you to subscribe.